All right, Mr. Clifton, good to see you, my friend.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. All right, so I'm going to get this live inside of Pod 4, actually.
Okay.
And then we're going to get into it.
Sounds good.
What time is it over there? 9 o'clock?
Confidence gain weight and your life 9 p.m. Upside down. Well, 8:50.
8:50? Nice. Okay, let's turn that off for now.
Amazing energy. And now your confidence is enjoying.
Turn off the video for now?
Okay.
Okay.
You're here right now to lose over 20 pounds of fat. You're unshakable.
No, not your video, but the ad. It's playing in the background and it's creating noise. So I just muted you. Turn your video back on, though, inside of Zoom. There we go. Okay, I got you on mute right now. Let's see if – there we go. Okay, cool. Oh, no. Here, can you please pause that? We're going to get started in Pod 4 right now.
Where is it? This isn't some huge.
I'm going to put you on mute till you get that sorted. We're going to get you live right now. So you figure that out. I'm going to type up a headline for this. We'll reconnect in about 2 to 3 minutes. You stay on the line, but go figure that out. Go through all of your browsers, all of your tabs and all of your browsers and figure out where it is, okay?
All right, sorry about that.
No worries.
All right.
All right. Team, we are now live with Mr. Clifton. Now, Clifton is a client inside of the mastermind, and he works with divorced dads. And what we're going to be doing is going through a little example marketing makeover, something we do inside of the mastermind for those of you who actually graduate on the final roundtable on Friday. To ultimately take a look at what exactly isn't working out for him right now as far as generating apps and desire inside of his market and figure out how we can actually get him to resonate better. So Clifton, welcome to the show. How is everything going right now?
Hey, how you doing? Everything's going good. Just trying to get stuff organized so that I could get more attention and build desire so that I could get more apps.
More attention, desire, commitment. Awesome. So right now what you're seeing is the offer that we're looking at is essentially lose 20 pounds and double your energy for divorced dads. But the thing you're finding is that these dads don't necessarily want to either lose fat or gain the energy. Perhaps that isn't their worst problem. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, Clifton. We're going to get real clear, kind of like what was done with Crystal in the mastermind earlier this week. And the first thing I want to ask you, man, is what's the greatest result that you could possibly provide for somebody? Like just throw away all the energy stuff, the fat loss stuff, all this other stuff that we're talking about. And like just real talk, if you had a one-to-one client and they're coming to you and maybe this person has to lose weight, maybe this is a divorced dad, maybe not, but what is the greatest thing that you as a coach with your expertise could possibly provide for a person coming to you for coaching?
To feel comfortable with themselves without sacrificing time with their kids.
Okay, so to feel comfortable with themselves. Now, that's not really a compelling offer. Like nobody's going to pay you to feel comfortable with themselves if you're coming in for like fitness training, right? So what can you actually get me to do in my body over the course of 3 months?
In the course of 3 months, I can get them to lose at least 30 pounds of weight, to perform better, to be able to look down and actually see their private parts.
Okay, got it. Okay, so it sounds to me like the type of person who would actually want what you're offering is somebody who's got a pretty big belly.
Yes, these are people that have lost their weight, gained weight during the divorce, and they want to feel
I'm trying to pull you out of your head because you're really, really in your head about this niche. Like you've drilled it in really, really hard where it's like, oh, divorced dads, energy, weight loss, boom, 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 boom. Super in your head. But let's just pull out for a second. And we're going to come back to there. But ultimately, if somebody's just coming to you for fitness training and, okay, let's say they have a belly, you think that you get somebody to lose 30 pounds in 3 months?
Yes.
Okay. Now, specifically for, and what exactly am I going to experience if I'm actually able to lose 30 pounds?
They can experience, well, more energy. You're definitely going to have more confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to be stronger. You're going to be able to see some muscle tone. And pretty much you're going to just have more all around energy.
Okay. So strength, muscle tone, energy, number of things. So strength, confidence is one of the biggest ones. Muscle tone, energy. Okay. Now, who do you think? So let's look at the opposite of this. Who do you think wants to be strong, confident, have muscle tone, and have energy more than anybody else? And I'm not talking like, don't tell me a who, but tell me a what. What problem would someone have to experience for them to want to be strong, confident, have more muscle tone, and have more energy and lose 30 pounds?
People who just lost their confidence. I mean, people who just what would have to be that big problem that got them there?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, not necessarily that, but just simply what symptoms do I have to experience if the thing that I want most is to be strong, confident, lose 30 pounds, etc.
What symptoms you have to experience? Trying to.
Yeah. So again, don't get too in your head. Let's just keep this super simple. So if what you can get somebody is strength, confidence, muscle tone, energy, and tangibly losing 30 pounds. So we know that somebody who wants to be confident is somebody who has lost their confidence. Very, very simple, right? So what else? Can't tell if your screen is frozen if you're ever in mental block. I think your screen might be frozen. Okay. So while we're getting you back online, the biggest thing that you could possibly do is just choose the opposite of whatever you're actually offering would be the symptoms of somebody who actually wants what you're offering. See, Clifton, I think we're getting a disconnect here. So for anybody who's watching this, and again, if you guys are struggling with actually getting things to resonate or actually getting people to want what you're offering, biggest thing that you have to think about is what's the number one thing I can provide. So for instance, in the example of Lindsay, he can provide somebody with filling food and actually get them to lose 20 kilos. So who actually wants that? Somebody who doesn't want to lose 20 kilos, somebody who doesn't even have 20 kilos to lose, someone who doesn't love food? No. It has to be somebody who loves food, who has 20 kilos to lose. Now, in addition to that, Lindsay works with the busy dads to help them actually lose the fat, as we talked about, or to take control of their schedule as well, as we talked about on the roundtable today. So, looks like Mr. Clifton. Let me see if I can get him back on. But if we go back to the example here, if the things that somebody that you're offering somebody are X, Y, and Z, then the symptoms that you would be solving by giving them X, Y, and Z would be whatever the opposite of X is, the opposite of Y, and the opposite of Z. All right, Clifton, I can hear you again. Looks like you had your internet disconnect there.
Yes, my internet just, all right. It's been going out, so I connected to my phone.
No worries. You're good, bro. All right. So let's get the notepad back up here. And essentially what I want to do is dive in and think, okay, who actually wants to develop these or to get these things that you could possibly offer? So we have a number of different things: strength, confidence, muscle tone, energy, and losing 30 pounds. So these are the things that you can give somebody. Now, who actually wants that? Can you see my screen right now? Is it showing up?
It's black, but yes, I see. Oh.
Okay. Screen share is being a little buggy, so all good. There we go. Okay. So you get strength, confidence, muscle tone, energy, and you lose 30 pounds. So who wants that? Okay, we've already gotten somebody who has lost their confidence. Who else would want to be all these things?
Who else wanted to be those things?
What other symptoms would somebody have to experience if this is what they want?
the experience to
Hold on, hold
people
on.
who,
You're getting way too in your head. You're thinking way too hard about this. Okay.
yeah, I,
Who
yeah,
wants to get strong? What's the opposite of being strong?
anybody who's weak.
Yeah. So somebody who's not strong.
Hmm.
You think that somebody who's like kind of average strength would be like, fuck yeah, I'm going to pay you to get me strong? Maybe, maybe not. Now, somebody who's weak, where this is actually a problem for them, do you think they would pay you to help them get strong?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think is going to pay more? The person who actually who is the opposite of the thing that you offer, or the person who already kind of has the thing, or is kind of more neutral?
Person who's the complete opposite.
Okay. So what's the opposite of having muscle tone?
Flabby, fat, overweight.
Perfect. Okay. Who wants to have more energy?
Those guys who they can't stay up during the day. They're having trouble focusing.
All right. So somebody who can't focus or stay up, who has no energy. Is this starting to make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Who wants to lose 30 pounds? Is it the person who's already kind of skinny?
Nope. It's the guy who has gained weight through the divorce.
Well, it's anybody who needs to lose 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is ultimately who you're looking for. Now, what demographic fits all of these symptoms? There's a number of different demographics that fit all these symptoms, correct?
Yep.
Now, which of those demographics do you specifically want to work with? Who do you resonate with? Who do you give a shit about?
I resonate more with the dads that are between 35 and 45.
Okay. So you want to work with dads who are 35 to 45 who need to lose 30 pounds, who have no
Mhm.
confidence, fat, flabby, overweight, can't stay up, have no energy, and who are weak.
Mhm.
Now, what type of dad, particularly inside of this age range, do you give a shit about who you're willing to work 60 hours a week to help?
There's a divorced dad that's
Okay,
just been
why?
stressed
Why?
because that's how I was. I got a divorce. I know how it's been for me,
How was it?
going through struggles, being stressed, not having anything organized. My schedules, it wasn't organized, not being able to sleep properly because of the constant stress of courts and being able just to get things in order, trying to fight for my daughter for more parenting time with her.
Mm-hmm. What other struggles did you go through?
You know, being in the moment with her, not being confident, not wanting
In the
to
moment
actually,
with who? Couldn't be in the moment with who?
with my daughter. Because any time I was with her, I was also thinking about, the court proceedings and how things went wrong and how to fix things
How things went wrong with your daughter or with your ex?
with my ex.
Powerful story. And what about being newly single and being, what's your body? So when you got married, did you gain weight or did you stay pretty fit?
I gained a little weight.
How much?
I gained probably around 15 pounds, but I was always working out still.
Okay. And what about being single, but being 15 pounds overweight compared to when you were single before? Did you feel as confident as you did before the divorce?
I was confident. I was fit when I was single. I had no issues with any of that stuff, no stress.
But then after the divorce, you're 15 pounds overweight and you've got all this emotional baggage. How did you feel going into the single market then?
Well, I wasn't confident. I definitely wasn't confident. I wasn't confident in making a step towards a woman. I wasn't confident in doing my work efficiently. I had lack of energy, so that definitely affected my confidence in being able to perform.
Okay. It's funny. As soon as you say lack of energy, it's almost like you go into script mode and it's back to the other thing. What I'm trying to do is get you out of your head and get you out of this script that you've conditioned yourself to and just get you to look at the person and your own story. Because you remember at the end of last month's intensive, we went through the who, what, where, how, and why.
Yep.
Okay. Do you see how these things are starting to fill in?
Yep.
All right. So were you able to overcome these stories and symptoms that you were experiencing after your divorce?
Yes.
How much weight did you lose?
I lost 23 pounds.
And how'd you do it?
Getting back to the gym, eating properly again, making sure I put myself first, because without doing that, I couldn't properly take care of my daughter.
Why not?
You can't take care of someone if you can't take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And my energy is low. I'm not going to have that energy to play with her, to be there in the moment with her. I'm not going to be able to give her my all. So it was extremely important for me to get that energy back and to get that focus back.
By the way, because you're going into this in your story, I added something to your who, divorced dads who are 35 to 45 with kids, because it sounds like your daughter was a really big part of your story. And so
Yes.
if this is your why behind the who, then we need to make it more specific, because your why becomes your story. Your why becomes your ads. If you remember the marketing makeover with Crystal, we literally went deep into her story as to why. And guess what? She just launched like 3 new ad variations this week. They're already crushing it just using these stories. Now, let me ask you this, Clifton. Before we go even more into the how, have you used this story in all this depth that we've gone through today in any of your ads or any of your content?
I used some of it, not
Some
all
of
of
it.
it.
Not all of it. So here's the
It
thing
wasn't.
is, and I know that this isn't even all the story, bro. And how deep into this you want to go is ultimately your choice, but just know that the more that you can open up about yourself as a leader, the more people are going to be able to trust you and connect with you. Comprehension creates connection, and simplicity shows mastery. Okay? These are 2 principles I want you to apply, because right now you're getting super, super overcomplicated in your head. Like as soon as I ask you what do you do, you're like low energy and weight loss, and you get super like in your head, bro. And it becomes very, very hard to connect with you, which is why when somebody's watching your ads and you're like low energy and blah, 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 it's just like, it doesn't connect. But if you say, look, man, when I went through my divorce, I was like, fucked, bro. Like I had gained 15 pounds in marriage, because who the fuck stays in shape when you get married? Most guys are going to get fat. So I call it a dad bod. And here I am in the dating game. I'm not confident like I was when I was fit before I got married. I'm 15 pounds overweight. I've got a dad bod. I'm a dad. I got my daughter to take care of. I can't even stay in the moment with her. I'm stressed about my freaking court proceedings and shit. And here I am trying to get my life back together. And you know what? I just have to fucking learn how to get back in the gym, eat properly, and put myself first again. And guess what? I lost 23 pounds. And I started to feel confident again. I started to be able to get my life back. I started to be able to stay in the moment with my daughter. I started to date again. And if you want to learn how to do this shit, well, I'm going to show you how to do this shit. Click the link below and go through my free 5-day challenge specifically for divorced single dads with kids. That's who I am, and this is the exact system that I use to get my life back, to bring my confidence back, to get back into the dating game, get back in shape, so I could be the man that I need to be inside of my dating life and inside of my daughter's life. Now, does that sound more powerful than low energy and triple your productivity as a man and lose 30 pounds? Does that sound a little bit more relatable and connectable?
It does.
Okay. So this is my version of your story, but I want you to go into your story and fucking tell the story like it is, man.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go back into the how. So in order to lose 23 pounds, you got back in the gym, you ate properly, you put yourself first and learn to take care of yourself again so you can be in the moment. What else did you do?
Organize my schedule so that I actually have time to work out, to eat properly, to take time off during the day in order to refocus, and to shut off so when I was with my daughter, I could actually concentrate on her.
Okay. What do you do when you like take time off to refocus? Do you like meditate, or what do you do?
I meditate. I read things that are funny, enjoyable. Sometimes I listen to podcasts. Anything that takes me away from the actual moment and lets me relax and center.
Okay. So let's say that, do you have any siblings?
My sister, yes.
Okay. Do you have any like male cousins?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say that let's just say theoretically you have a cousin or a brother really, really close. He's been married for like the last 10 years. He's gained probably like 20, 30 pounds since he's been married. Since that's usually what most people gain when they get the dad bod. And he's got a daughter. Maybe he's got a son too. And your cousin goes through a divorce. And he's stressed. He's dealing with a lot of shit. He's single. He's not confident. He's got this, 30-pound gut. He can't see down there, as you said at the beginning of this call. He's going through some shit. And he comes to you and he says, "Yo, Clifton, I know that you went through a divorce too. What do I do, man? How do I like bring my confidence back? Cause I'm out here trying to date. I'm out here trying to take care of my daughter. Out here trying to take care of myself, and I can't do shit." What would you have him do? And don't get in your head here. Just think about your cousin, bro. Think about your cousin.
It's just to take a breather, take a moment, and let's look at his actual schedule. Number one, he can't take care of himself if everything is out of whack.
All right. What would you have to do after that?
After that, I would tell him to look at where he is right now, assess where he is, so that he could start to plan how to actually reach his goals. Because if he's not gonna, his goal is to de-stress.
Okay, look, you don't know his goals. So how do you find out his goals?
Well, that's the assessment. Ask him those questions about, well, okay.
Well, what would you actually ask him? Because we're not talking about a prospect. We're not talking about some person on a computer here. We're talking about your freaking cousin, bro. What would you ask him?
So what do you want? What do you want out of this? What would make you happy? Pretty much.
All right. So what do you think would make a divorced single guy who's gained some weight, who's got kids he's trying to take care of, who like doesn't even know how to do his own dishes because his wife's done his dishes for the last 10 years. Or I don't know what's going on. Maybe that's someone, maybe it's not. But like, what's this guy need to learn how to do? Not what's he going to learn how to do, but what do you think would actually make him happy?
What would make him happy? I know what would make me happy, but him.
What would make you happy?
Just being able to what would make me happy? At that time, it was just getting some type of balance.
Okay. What does balance look like?
Less schedule stress, which means have things focused, have work focused, have time with my daughter, not having to worry about that. Being able to do my mountain biking, my hiking.
Your hobbies.
My free. Mm-hmm.
Oh, what were you about to say? Free something?
Biking, mountain hiking, exercising, traveling, being able to enjoy myself with my daughter. Dating again.
I was waiting for that one. I love it. Go ahead.
And just being able to enjoy the moments, not have to worry about what will happen next.
Do you feel how much more naturally this flows?
Mm-hmm.
You feel how it doesn't feel like you're like forcing yourself to talk about like improve your energy and take control of your schedule? I mean, that stuff's there, but it's not the thing. The thing is, look, man, you're stressed as fuck. You just went through all this shit. It sucks. You're kind of like in a really shitty place compared to before you got married, but it's all good because I'm going to take care of you, man. I've been through this shit too. So have some of my clients. I'm still going through some of this shit, man. I still think about my ex sometimes when I see my daughter. I still have to freaking drop her off at, my ex's house, and I still have to look at her and remember all the shit that went wrong. But I look at how much I've invested in myself and put in the work on myself, and I have an inner frame and confidence now, and I can look back to right after the divorce versus right now, and I see how much better off I am. And look, you may struggle with this your whole life, but at least there's a system that's going to specifically work for you if you're a divorced dad with kids. Do you see how you become a lot more of a leader and a mentor to somebody if you can actually open up about this whole thing and create a path based on what you actually did or would do?
Yeah.
And it's so tough because when we intellectualize everything, like, look, I struggle with this shit too. Like when I'm trying to write shit for like, you know, a client and I think, okay, what would I do? Well, I start thinking, how can I sell them? How can I sell them? How can I sell them? Because ultimately you're trying to build a business here. But it's not about selling somebody. I mean, it is about selling somebody, but in order to sell somebody, you have to be able to connect with them. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does.
And again, comprehension creates connection, and simplicity is the greatest form of mastery. And so when we look at this whole thing we have here, we have like the workings of a path. We've got a pretty clear where, what, who, why. We've got a lot of great ideas for the how. We've got your story, right?
Yes.
We've got your story from the pain that you were experiencing all the way to what you wanted. And maybe you're not there yet, and that's fine. If you're not 100% there yet and you're not traveling and doing all this stuff and you're not like killing it and in business and your dating life, but you're better than you were before, be open about that and say, look, I'm not one of these Instagram guys who's going to show you my perfect steroid abs and tell you that you can look like me in 6 weeks with my fucking diet program. I'm not going to tell you that bullshit. But what I am going to tell you is that if you follow the system, you're going to fucking feel better and you're going to lose fucking weight and you're going to be confident. You're actually be able to date again and you're going to actually be able to get rid of all this fucking stress that you're dealing with, or at least deal with it better and actually be able to spend quality time with your kids without being in your head about all the shit that went wrong. I'm going to teach you how to fix this shit. I'm going to teach you how to deal with this shit, and we're all going to deal with it together because I'm still going through some of this shit. But that's why I'm real. That's why you can fucking connect with me. That's why I'm not like, you know, the dude who's obviously taking steroids who's going to tell you I can increase your testosterone levels by 300% by adding this one strange food to your diet. Fuck that bullshit, man. If that's what you want to listen to, keep listening to that, but you've already tried that shit and it didn't fucking work. So why don't we try something new from a real coach who's a real person who has real problems just like you. My life isn't perfectly okay, neither is yours. So let's fucking talk about it and let's create a solution. Let's fucking band together as brothers and create a movement. Do you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
Versus, I'm going to help you boost your energy levels and lose 30 pounds, bro. So, I mean, again, we can laugh at it because we can look and we can see why it wasn't working, right? Because before this call, the problems you were having is you're launching all these ads, you're putting in the work, you're being consistent, but it's still not fucking working. And you're like, why the fuck doesn't it work? And it's, again, sometimes we got to take a step back and just look from the big picture. It's kind of like what we talked about last month with the whole helicopter analogy. We want to be able to look over at the patch and just think, okay, there's people who are divorced, who are dads, who have kids, who are 30 to 45, maybe they're 50, maybe they're 29, probably not 29, but who knows, right? And there's these people who actually would benefit from my story and what I actually did in my life to fix this shit. So why don't I take my story and take what I actually did and help people and give them enough value that they would actually be willing to pay me for this shit, put together testimonials to get people tangible results, change real people's lives, hop on calls with them just like this and talk about how, you know, I changed their life or how I helped them to change their own life and gave them that control again. Because you're not a babysitter, you're not going to hold their hand, but you're going to give them the system and the environment and the steps and the expertise as a fitness coach and as an online coach and as a mentor to actually step out of this and get what they want. Clear?
Yep, clear.
All right. I'm going to send this to you, and your task, man, is you're going to put together 3 ads in the next 24 hours. Copy, text, and videos. You've been doing your hour of power in mission 1, so you could probably do this a lot faster than when you were going through Get More Clients. And so you're going to be able to do this in 1 day. And it's funny because I'm streaming this in Pod 4, and everyone in Pod 4 is probably like, holy shit, that took me a week. But trust me, when you put in more reps, just like we were talking about on the roundtable this morning, you develop the ability to do this shit a lot faster and at a higher standard. So Clifton, now that we're a little bit more clear, and Clifton, this isn't like the answer. You're going to go deeper and deeper on this as you work with more people, you notice more patterns, you try more shit, you go deeper into your own story, you analyze your own psychology, and you study yourself. Because you still deal with this shit. I mean, you still got your ex-wife, you still got your daughter. I don't know if you're seeing anybody, if you're still dating, if you're single, but you're probably going to go through some of that too. And you're going to have experience that you can actually share. And so when you have a daily revelation about this stuff, you can actually share this inside of your group and people will connect. And that's what's going to allow you to create a community that gives people value beyond just the physical, beyond just more energy and all that shit. Because that shit's going to come. But it's actually a place where people can be real and connect. Because think about it. These guys are probably wearing a mask. If people are like, how are you doing? They're like, good, good. Inside, they're like, fuck, man, I'm so lonely. I'm so fucking tired. I can't focus on shit. I can't even focus on my kid because I'm thinking about my ex.
Yeah.
So I'll send you this, bro. And then, so put those together. And then are you going to have to make some revisions to your funnel?
Okay.
Are you?
Uh,
I'm asking.
I don't think I'll have to make. I'm definitely gonna be redoing those videos in the funnel. So it's a 5-step funnel. So I'm gonna redo them with all this in mind as well. So
Okay. So when we actually look at the steps, so there's elements of these steps inside of your current funnel, but like again, I want to make a really clear distinction between Clifton, who's like energy and confidence and lose 30 pounds, and the Clifton who's like, well, shit. When I went through that divorce, I mean, I was 15 pounds overweight. I lost 23 pounds. I got back in the gym. I just wanted to be happy and in the moment again. I just wanted to stop dealing with the stress, be able to spend quality time with my daughter and have confidence when I date again instead of feeling like I've got all this emotional baggage. I've got all this physical baggage. I don't want that shit. Okay. So I want you to innovate this, and I want you to just go into those stories, and I'll send you a recording of this too. But honestly, I think all you need is this. So I'll send you that tomorrow. Just go ahead and go through all of this and start reworking everything. And again, like I want you, because this is like a lot of work, because I'm literally having you just redo everything right now. Make sense?
yeah.
So so like I want you to launch those ads in the next 24 hours, but I want you to like take the next few weeks to refine your funnels. And like hopefully, I don't know if this has given you any big revelations, but I hope so. Hopefully you're going to be like, holy shit, this actually explains why nothing was working and this kind of changes everything. So I kind of want to just fix all this shit within the next few days or the next week. But keep refining it. And this applies to anyone in pod 4 who's like, just launched their ads, just about to go. This is a game of constant growth and refinement. Like if you look at Lynn's content from 2017, 2018, 2019, it's still evolving. Even if you're crushing it, you're still evolving as you go deeper in the message. So, all right, Clifton, what are your thoughts? What are your final questions? Anything else that you wanted to talk to me about?
Would it be beneficial for me to also put the path somewhat in there as well, not just the where, who, why, but also kind of like put the path on how I actually got there or how I would take them through that process.
Of course, you have to. You have to, because right now, because here's the thing, Pete. So there's a lot of stuff out there, right? So like if I'm a divorced dad, so let's just think about your prospects. So I'm a divorced dad. I got kids. I'm like 20, maybe 15, maybe 30 pounds overweight, maybe 50 pounds overweight. I mean, every dad gains a different amount of weight during the struggle, during the stresses of marriage, during the stresses of divorce. So you got these guys and, just been through a divorce. They're at home. They're experiencing exactly what you experienced when you went through divorce, which I would imagine based on breakups that I've been through, you just kind of feel like life's kind of meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of just like, fuck, dude. I feel like that whole period of my life was almost like not even a lie, but it almost feels like somebody died. Like I remember one time after a breakup, I felt like my ex had died or some shit, and it was like so sad. And I was just like, I was so fucking depressed, bro. I was like in bed for 3 days. And you see how I can own that, and if I talk about that, you can fucking connect with that shit, right? And it's actually a true story. Because I can own that and I can look at that and I can say, look, my dating life isn't fucking perfect right now, but if I can own that and connect with you on that, you can connect with me and you can say, holy shit, when you're giving me some real fucking advice from experience. So you look at guys like that and you think, okay, so right now, if they've got this problem where they're tired, they're not confident, and they're fat and flabby and they're stressed and they got all this other shit that they're dealing with, all these symptoms that we reflected on and got clear on, they're scrolling through Facebook and they're seeing there's a lot of dad coaches out there, lots of dad coaches. And if you're watching this, there's like a 50% chance you're a dad coach, because I think half the people in the pod are dad coaches too. So, and look, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, what type of dad are you going to work with? Because if I'm a dad who loves food, I'm probably going to work with Lindsay. He's somebody that's out of pod 4. So Lindsay, if you're watching this, good to see you. But if I love food, I'm going to work with Lindsay, because Lindsay's specific type of dad is a dad who loves food, who like can't stop eating really delicious food because you just fucking love food. So it'll probably be me in like 10 years, who knows? But hopefully I won't gain that weight. But again, like I love food, so maybe I'll resonate with that, and that'll be something that resonates with me. But like, what type of dad you work with is a divorced single dad. Now, there's actually other coaches who work specifically with divorced single dads, but it takes a lot of balls to be able to talk about your story, especially if there's still shit that you're a little insecure about that you're still dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, Yeah. So again, like it's the more that you can open up about your story and like truly create the best path for that person. That's why I had you reflect on your cousin, reflect on yourself, what you actually did, to where it stops being this intellectualized, like what can I best sell? And it becomes what do these people actually need? What can I feel certain about and argue for like a motherfucker? Right. So like one of your steps for relieving the stress is to take a break and just, listen to a podcast, read something that cheers you up, because these guys are stressed and they're feeling empty and they're
Mhm.
fat and they like want to be able to talk to girls again, but girls won't even look at them and they're like too nervous to talk to a girl because they got all this physical and mental baggage. So they're like, so it's just like, look, man, I know you're stressed because you're dealing with that trigger and that trigger and that trigger. Then you see your daughter or your son, it reminds you of your ex, and then you get a text from your ex, some shit, who knows? You're dealing with all these stresses. So hold on, take a second, take a breather, give yourself some space to enjoy something or learn something. In fact, you could even launch a podcast where you just real talk about this shit and have them listen to your podcast. That's fucking genius. It's marketing material. It's desire. Anything that someone consumes from you is desire. At the 1%, we have like 20 million different hours of like free trainings from like 2017 and 2018 that we give all our prospects for free. So they just consume our shit and desire, desire, desire. If you're watching this video right now, chances are you probably went through some of that shit, and that's part of why you wanted to work with us, because you understand what we're about. So same thing. If they can listen to the Clifton Palmer podcast, which is actually a really catchy name for some reason, it's like, if they can listen to that shit and it's like, holy shit, like these are the realities of being a divorced dad and like dealing with some real shit in life. They can listen to that and they relate with that and they connect with that. And every time they listen to it, they feel connected. And you drop them an offer at some point, then they're going to strongly relate with that. Have you ever heard of Garrett J. White?
Yep.
Okay. So have you ever listened to his podcast?
No.
Okay, so his podcast is pretty sick because even though I'm not a married businessman, I can still listen to his podcast, which is specifically for married businessmen, and relate with a lot of stuff that has to do with business, mindset, life. And he just talks about real shit. He talks about his struggles. He talks about his triumphs. He talks about a lot of shit. And at the end of each podcast, he has a little lead magnet where it's like, you can actually, it's a sell on his book, like halfway through the podcast. And then at the end of the podcast, it's a sell on joining his website, where he just feeds you more free value and desire. So it's like, it's a funnel. Like a funnel doesn't mean something on ClickFunnels for anybody watching this. A funnel means your entire marketing system that's slowly bringing people into this funnel until they book in a call and they become a client. So like technically I'm in Garrett J. White's funnel because I bought his book. I signed up at his membership site. I listen to his podcast, not as much anymore, but I mean, I still listen to it occasionally, and it's like, okay, I'm in his funnel. And eventually after I listened to his shit for like a couple months, I bought his book for like $160. Like I spent $160 on a book because he built that desire, because I was listening to his shit and I was consuming his free content. So you can even launch that. But that's something that I would say just do like a once a week podcast. But right now, immediate actions. Yeah, take that path, take that how, and like completely rework your path, man. Because if you look at your current path, it some of it connects, but not all of it is as specific as it needs to be. Does this make sense? True or false?
Not as specific as it needs to be. Like, what do you mean?
So what's your current path? Because right now, I know that a big selling point of your path is like increased energy, but if one of the most immediate concerns this guy has is like stress, wouldn't step one just be like, hey man, just take a break, de-stress, and give yourself something enjoyable to do every day so that you can get out of this place of emptiness and stress?
My current path, the first step is scheduling their day with intent, which means they're literally focusing on taking breaks and optimizing their schedule so that they can do what they need to do.
Okay, so that's part of it. Now, what do you think would sell them a little better? Because if a guy's kind of feeling empty and depressed and like all the shit, whatever they're dealing with, he probably doesn't. I mean, the idea of scheduling your day with intention sounds good, but what's actually going to address your immediate symptoms if you're empty and depressed, or whatever these guys are experiencing?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. You're going in and out.
If these guys are feeling empty and depressed, that's their immediate symptom. What's going to solve that symptom and sell them into the idea that they need to schedule your shit? Because Clifton, if I tell you, hey, you need to wake up at 2 a.m. every single day and do this 2-hour morning routine that I do every single day so you can be a more productive business owner, you're probably not going to do that shit. But if I sell you on it, because this is actually what I do, I wake up at 2:30 every single day. So does Lynn. We wake up really fucking early and we do shit. But if I told you that right now, you probably wouldn't do it. You'd be like, it's cool. I'll probably just not do that. But if I sell you on it and I say, look, Clifton, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're struggling to get clients and you're struggling to get clear on everything that you need to do every single day to actually build your business, And right now you're like, fuck, dude, how am I going to bring clients in? Because if I don't get clients by next month, I'm going to be broke as fuck. If I sell you on your pain points and I say, look, I'm going to solve these symptoms for you. I'm going to get you into a state of clarity and power and give you exactly the steps that you need to execute every single day. I'm going to give you a routine that gives you the steps that you need to execute every single day to actually build your business and get more clients. That's a sell. And now I can give you the thing that's going to be a kind of a pain in the ass to do. Make sense?
Gotcha.
So same thing. When it comes to selling them on scheduling their day with intent, kind of a pain in the ass. I mean, it's cool and it's a good thing. And I highly believe that everybody needs to do that, including you, including me, including everybody, which is why I do it. But like, if you want to sell them on that, it's more a matter of solving the immediate symptom, which is emptiness and depression. So that would be fill yourself up and get yourself in a positive state. So it's like, how can we sell that to them and then make the thing that sells that to them this scheduling your day with intent and planning in these strategic moments to de-stress and become happy. And I think the best way to put it would be like, look, I know you're feeling empty right now, man, because that's exactly how I felt after my divorce. And look, I've got an answer for you. I do this every single day. And I especially needed to do so right after the divorce, which was this daily routine that I have. It's a morning routine. It's an evening routine. It's actually a way of organizing your day so that you can actually get rid of this feeling that you're feeling all day so you can actually focus and live in the moment. Do you see how we connect it to the symptoms and what they actually want? And then we sell them on the thing. So what you need to do is you need to innovate a title for that. Schedule a day with intent is close and it's cool, but I mean, it sounds like right now, since you're kind of struggling to get apps, we need to create something that sells them a little bit better. Make sense? All right, looks like Clip is disconnecting. Oh, there we go. Did you get that last part, man?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So sell them on the thing that they need. And because right now, if you're struggling to get desire, we got to be able to get them into that desire and meet them where they're at. Because right now they could say, thank you very much. I know I need to schedule my day with intent, but right now I'm just too empty and busy for that shit. Make sense?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want you to just like pull yourself out of the coaching hat for a second and just put yourself more into like the relating with them as a friend type thing. And then once we've kind of created something that meets them where they're at and identifies what they need, then we can start giving them the coaching. Okay. Looks like all right. We're back. Okay. Did you get that last part?
No.
Okay. So take yourself out of the coaching brain for a second. I just want you to put yourself into like the relating with a friend or relating with a cousin or relating with a brother type of friend. And I want you to just start thinking, what do they actually want? What do they actually need? And then put your coaching hat back on and kind of sell them into this, meet them where they're at, and then convince them that they need the thing you have and then give them the stuff that they have to do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Are you clear? All right, Clifton, give me an update 24 hours from now. Let me know how those ads go. And then after that, I want you, so do the ads first because I want you to just get some front end ads in. And then honestly, after doing those ads, you're probably gonna be motivated to keep going with your funnel. So I would block out like a solid 2 to 4 hour block, middle of the day, like a producer's block. So it's going to be a little bit of a stretch, kind of like when you're going to the gym and like doing some extra reps. I want you to really stretch this and like get yourself really, really clear on the plan of how you're going to do this whole thing and then execute that nice big block and get the stuff done. And the greatest thing is that once you've built this out, if you can actually build this whole thing out in one block, or at least the ads and then day one of the funnel and the opt-in for the funnel. So that's like, 5 videos total, not too crazy. Don't even worry about image ads. Just do the video ads. They flow better because you can actually just stay in that same state when you're doing the videos. You can do the images tomorrow or the day after if you're going to do this tomorrow because I know it's like nighttime where you're at. But schedule this for like either first thing tomorrow or first thing as soon as you're done with whatever other blocks you've already scheduled. And create all this. And the great thing is that once you've actually built this, all these people who are seeing your ads are going to connect better. So you're going to get a better click-through rate. More people are actually going to click on your ad. More people are going to go through the store. More people are going to connect. More people are actually going to get sold on your call to action. More people are actually going to go into your funnel. And then once they're in your funnel, it's like a conveyor belt, right? So you get their attention and they enter your conveyor belt. So they're into your little scheme here, into your little loophole, your game that you put together. And now it's like Have you ever like when you were trying to get clients at the gym, given people like free personal training sessions or like consultations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consultation.
So it's kind of like, imagine there's a bunch of little Cliftons. Each of those video is a little Clifton bot who's like taking this person through a coaching session every single day and getting them warmed up until it comes time for the close. And at each point too, you give them an opportunity to actually sign up. Okay.
Gotcha.
So when you create this, you're going to start getting a lot more apps if you do this properly. And then once you get all those apps, you'll have a lot more opportunities to build your sales skills and start closing. And my goal is that you start making some money in the next, honestly, week or two.
Okay.
Like if you build this right now, you'll probably make money by the end of the week if you do it properly and you start getting some applications and sales. Okay.
Well, I'm going to do it tomorrow.
All right. Perfect. Good man. Good man. All right. Keep me posted. Send me an update tomorrow night. Okay.
Will do.
All right, Clifton. Good to see you. Good to have you on. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right.
Thanks.